We got another Venture Capitalist Live. Let's cover something real simple here. My favorite coin, super duper Algorand. Now, what I want to put you guys up on here is some game because I think you guys are just simply impatient to when you know how to get news data and use it for your advantage. Now, personally, I'm a huge fan of Algorand. Right now is a great time to do what's called cost average buy, which means take the top cryptocurrencies that you like or have a future and put money into those coins, right? So Algorand is a coin that I've been basically in my entire top 10 the entire time. And if you don't know what Algorand is, it's bigger than a sleeping giant. It is a very masterful layer one, okay? So when it's dropping down and hitting its low points and low prices, you know, I'm stacking up heavily. Now, everyone's going to say, well, what about the market? Is it going to jump up? Is it going to go down? You guys have to be real with yourself and just say to yourself that there is no money in the economy. We are at a recession. Gas is $4. We're in a war, and you know, at this point, you know, common sense will tell you that there is no real money anywhere in retail investing to really have the spikes that we want. Not to mention that all the major hedge funds are already down billions of dollars, and venture capitalists are getting an opportunity to come into this market, even though Arrow and all these other guys have suffered because they were the first ones in. But the second time around, you know, blockchain technology is not going anywhere. So there'll be people to replace all these hedge funds or these venture capitalists. It's just going to take a little bit of time. But what I want to teach you today is how to take news and information and basically make a profit. Because I think a lot of times guys will buy into something and basically at that point not take profits or what's called accumulation. Accumulation is basically when you buy a bottom of a coin or something that you really believe in, and basically at that point it has it where once that has a particular move, whether it's 10, 15, 17, 20%, when that run is over, you stop loss it out, sell it out, and you wait for what's called a retracement. Now, it's never been easier to do that in cryptocurrencies because simply at this point, it's going to have where it's going to be in a situation where you have so much going on as far as like there's no money to prop up a market. And hey, do me a favor, give me 1 second on that. I will take a glass of that water though. Do you have water? Ice it up. Thank you. And like, I would say basically at the end of the day, the crypto market is a market that you can take advantage of pumps and dumps, right? And it's not like a pump and dump. It's basically something moves really high, people take profits. This happens all the time. There's always a retracement move. So basically what that's going to do for you is it just puts you in a situation when you do see a big push or a big move that you do sell out of that move and then take those profits. And when you see a retracement, being patiently to get back into that retracement and buy a little bit more, okay? So that way you're just getting more coins and then it's a little bit worth more money for you. Now, the best part right here is we have a situation where with the Algorand, the move on the Algorand side, I'm going to show you how to take advantage of the, thank you. I'm going to show you how to take advantage of news and information. And what most people aren't, you know, what you won't see or get ahead of here is basically, here you go, Algorand adds X communication head. Now this is important because this is Visa and Fidelity. So she's coming over and basically she has all the connections needed, and Visa is highly active in the crypto space and Fidelity wants to be highly active. Now this happened on over a week ago. So this is like 7 days old, even though they're kind of running this over. But if you go back and you kind of like pull it up, this is literally from 7 days ago. You go over here to Google, here's Algorand news. Here you go, 1 week ago, Blockworks. You know, if you don't know where to find information, you want to get yourself on these, you know, news outlets and information outlets that give you a lot quicker info. So Blockworks a week ago let you know that she was coming over. Now let's take a look at the price of Algorand a week ago, right? So 7 days ago, we pull it up on CoinMarketCap, drop that in there, and 7 days ago, Algorand was sitting at 29 cents. All right. Now, if you see that type of news, something like a CEO upgrade, it's just like any stock or anything like that. People are investing, especially with somebody that has that much pull behind her. They're going to get into a situation where, people are going to invest in that because they believe it. And now this was just one of the catalysts, right? Because if you would have got it here at 30 cents, you would be up to 37 cents, which is, right now you're up a little bit over almost about 40%. So you could have made 40% on your push, and you could have took some profits here and then wait for another little pullback to happen. But that's basically what you want to do in crypto, is follow the news. Now what's more important is that if you go back in here, what you're seeing is not only that happened, but on the other front of algo, right, she comes in, you have the Fidelity upgrade. Now this is kind of cool here because it's a layer 1 blockchain. Now this is coming out again, people spreading the news and getting out there. And they're just going over the reaction to the charts, but this is keeping in the news. But this is even better because on this information here, which is kind of key, this literally comes in 9 hours ago, and this is just a recap of everything that's happening, but it has a partnership with the soccer federation FIFA. Now FIFA is huge. FIFA's the biggest, it's the largest sport in the world. It's soccer, it's World Cup. You know how big the World Cup is? That with a new CEO is definitely going to give you some nice rallies, and that's where you could have took advantage of that. Now, as you go across, everybody's talking about, here's Bitcoin.com, everybody's talking about this information, how XRP is going through the moon, but Algo is underneath XRP. So this is a continuation of the news this is released today, and they're just talking about the moves of what happened. But now this is kind of like, now that it's becoming mainstream news, this is where you're going to see people taking advantage of the news that's coming out. If you take a look here today, notice how your peak of the news, and everyone has a level that they're going to sell. That 40%, people are taking profits, and then you see that pull down, and then it reconstruction. And now it's starting to, consolidate at this level. But remember, selling at 40%, you're at 37 cents. You can wait for this news to play out, the market to play out, but more importantly, understanding that right now that's the peak of that news. Most coins that move 40% will give back at least 20% of its movement, 20 to 30, and especially in a market right here where in crypto it always goes up and down. So I would expect any type of move from 30 cents to 37, I would be looking for the middle ground to buy back in, somewhere around 34 cents or etc. And especially since the market is in a bad condition, I would just wait this out. And normally the time frame you want to wait is about 7 days. So there's a little food for thought, a little extra for you, something that you can put in there. But Algorand is a really good coin to hold and put in your pocketbook in a moon bag. It's one of my top 10s. And if you really want to understand what Algorand is, what most people forget to do is when they research Algorand, I've never heard anybody talk about this. And if you know what it is, do your research, come back, leave a comment, and tell me the one thing that makes Algorand really bullish, right? If you actually do the research on Algorand, you will find out that how much it actually is part of a huge blockchain that is what everyone is looking at around, talking about is going to be massive. Algorand actually runs a lot of the blockchains, and nobody ever talks about it. So Algorand's a sleeping giant. Here I would be taking, my profits at this big move here, and then I would let it subside because, like I said, the market's not good. The retail investors always take profit. So over the next 7 days, I would be waiting for some type of retracement, and then I would be moving back in. I mean, the worst case scenario, you don't get a retracement, and you have to buy in at sounds ridiculous when I say it. This market is terribly weak. I would say that, after the middle of October, towards like October 15th, 20th or something like that, I would be looking for the pullbacks and all that, and that's when I would be getting back into Algorand, probably at the same level of 30 cents. So right there, I'd be able to gain, a buyback at about 30 cents, and that'll give me an additional 40% of the coins, and that was all based on profit. So I can make my bag 40% bigger by taking this rally, sitting back over the next 7 days to a couple weeks to see how far it'll pull back in this terrible market, and then rebuying my moon bag and getting myself in that position. I just wanted to show you guys how you have to get on top of this news and this information so that you can be ahead of the game. And literally, if you're watching the news and the media, you can take advantage of all this stuff. And it's not that hard to go to Twitter, follow the Algorand, the XRP, the XLMs. Anytime something happens, a picture, a photo, anything like that, any type of catalyst that's going to get people talking, remember they use that to manipulate the market. So if you get in early, as soon as you see it, you can ride the 30, 20 to 40% waves, sell, let it all come back down because it's just a game that they play, and then take advantage of the money. And then from there, so you see how it went down at the 7 days, and then 9 hours ago, FIVA moves digital history with the launch of FIVA Pulse Collect powered Algorand. So 9 hours ago, that came out, and that's where you're going to see, if you take a look here, Algorand sold off, and then 9 hours ago that news came out for FIVA, and now we go from 36 cents, we're back on the move again. Now how far that FIVA news is going to move you, who knows, but you could take advantage of that first drop. But now you know that you want to get into Algorand around 30 cents, 29, 30 cents, and then take all your profits and rebuy at that time. That's called accumulation, and that's how you build in crypto without adding any additional money. But I just wanted to show you guys, just take a look at the top stories. Make sure you're always watching what's happening on the top cryptocurrencies on their Twitter. And anytime you see any type of news, put a little money in there and see what happens, and be patient. Hold it 7 days. It does take 7 to 14 days for things to move. And then once they move, take the profits, wait for the retracement, and then buy back in with the profits to get yourself more coins, which will make you more money. Other than that, guys, good luck, God bless out there, and always, top 10, be safe, and take care.